All right, guys. So I want to talk to y'all straight up about how I feel about the situation for a while, because there are even parts of this story, guys, that just seems unbelievable to me. Okay, my life is literally been a movie. But here's the kicker, right? Before all of this happened with the inheritance situation and everything, I had already been telling myself that my life was like a movie. Okay? Before this situation even went down, before I knew about any of this stuff, inheritances, whatever, I used to tell myself all the time, my life is just like a movie. Now, why did I used to say that? Because it's like, it always seemed like something, else was controlling my reality. I never felt like I was like in control of my reality. And when I say that, I don't mean it in a bad way, like it was all bad. No, it was not all bad. It's the way pieces would fall into place for me, where I would, and then by the time I would even have a chance to second guess it, something else would be going on that I'd be dealing with, right? And then when I finally get to the point where I get to exhale, I might think about some stuff, that happened a few months ago to a year, and I'm just like, yo, that shit don't even make sense. But I had to keep moving forward. I couldn't concentrate on all this supernatural shit all the time. You can't, because you're dealing with these people in this 3D reality. You got to go to work. You got to do what everybody else doing. And it's not like you can tell these people anything because they think you're crazy. So I had to keep a lot of stuff to myself. But just to tell you guys, inside, what was going on inside of me was I just could not believe the way my life was going. And this was before I knew about any of this inheritance situation. And now that's why I told somebody, this is just a cherry on the cake. Whole life been Truman Show. And still wondering, when you get to leave the set. Things, guys, I'm telling you guys, just like when I told you guys that story about that one time when I was in Brooklyn and I was doing gig work on a scooter, motorized scooter, and I told you guys how I got up one morning and the scooter was reconfigured, like this metal base scooter was reconfigured into something that did not make sense, and how I had to take that scooter back to the person that I bought it from, who was a bike technician, scooter technician. Dude could fix anything, especially a little scooter, And when I got to the guy, he said, "What happened? I don't understand." He like, basically, did you buy this from me? I'm like, "Yeah." And we just both stood there and looked at each other like, I don't know what the hell this is. He didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. But all he could do was take the scooter to throw away his trash and try to get me on another scooter. I mean, he was baffled and I was baffled. This scooter had reconfigured itself somehow. It was guys, this is the type of stuff that I'm talking to you guys about. That has went down in my life. Supernatural events that I cannot explain. Like literally, like my face should be next to the face of Houdini. Okay? That's the type of stuff I'm talking about, guys. How I got out of situations, how I got into situations. I mean, if I was the authorities, I was objectively looking at what's going on, I would be asking, how did you end up even living with this dude in New York in the first place? Well, because I was targeted. That's why. People, I might have been talking about some conscious stuff on YouTube. They do the same thing now, guys. Like, I talk to you guys about conscious stuff. Well, I mean, there's gang stalkers out there trying to pretend like right now they're talking about stuff that I'm talking about. Except This situation was a little more overt because this individual didn't mind showing his face. Remember, because he had a job to do from my family, right? So he was actually able to put himself out there and pretend to be some kind of God-fearing person. And you could tell that this individual had been studying me for a while. Okay? I don't know anything about people being able to invade your privacy by showing up on one of your YouTube feeds. I'm not really technically, I'm not like technology advanced type person, but there obviously needs to be some changes made because people's lives are being interfered with and they don't have no knowledge of how or why it's going on. So somebody can target you on your YouTube channel to the point, to the point where you know, you're watching their channel and then they can put on a front like they like you, and chances, not all the time, but chances, the odds are good that you might want to talk to that person. I listened to a lady yesterday on my feed. She was talking about, chosen ones, and she was talking about how she met this woman on YouTube who was jealous, who admitted to her that she was jealous of her because she got more looks when they were out in public than she did. And I said, oh my God, there needs to be some changes with YouTube. But just to get back to this lady who was talking about that story, of course, I wanted to message her and say, man, don't ever meet nobody from YouTube, yada, yada, but I didn't want to get into all that. I just wanted to listen to what she was saying. And I'm just thinking in the back of my head, like, this, and it's not even about YouTube. You have people that are your enemy that are targeting you. It could be at your workplace. It could be on YouTube. It could be anywhere, guys. It's always like some kind of psychopath out there who may be jealous of you and want what you have. That's why you guys hear me talking about having a house and having privacy. Privacy is extremely important to me now, more than it's ever been before. I deleted my Facebook account. But this system seems to be predicated towards people, weirdos, criminals, searching out victims to seek and destroy. It seems like this whole reality has been shaped this way. You could be a good person, you're just trying to go to work, you're just trying to do the right thing, and somebody out there is targeting you. See? I believe I was talking a couple of weeks ago about how brutal nature is. Because you got people out here that are hunting other people like they're fucking prey. Like this is Wild Discovery Channel, Wild Planet or something. And I'm not gonna lie, there are days I do question this creation. Because I'll be like, man, God, can't you just eradicate these people? Can't you just create a people that don't do this type of stuff? But that's a whole nother story. I don't want to talk about that right now because I have to bring up too many variables to get into that. But y'all know what I'm saying. It's just, at some days you just like, this doesn't make any sense. The sheep always being around a bunch of wolves. Is that ever going to end? If I had a guess as to why it's like that, is that it has to be like that because, like, how can I explain it? It's the process, man. It's like this creation has a process to it, and it can never be perfect, but it has to be a certain way to keep moving forward towards the betterment. Even though it doesn't look good, it's still moving towards the betterment of things. But some days, y'all know what I'm saying? Some days, man, you just like, what the fuck, But yeah, just getting back to that lady, she was talking about how, she met up with this girl, friends on YouTube. She was probably the same way. Like, she probably was talking to some female who sounded like she good person to be friends with, because everybody want a friend. Who don't want a friend, right? At that time, I didn't have any friends, and they know this type of stuff. That's how they want to. That's how they get in. When they isolate you, they can get in better that way. because they think you need friends. Honestly, I don't even need. Listen, guys, I didn't even remember. I needed a place to stay. I've never really needed friends. I've already accepted isolation and the way this world is a long time ago. It was just the fact that I needed a place to stay, and it's always these financial constraints. That's the big problem. The financial 144 ET license plate as I'm talking. The financial constraints is the issue. And that's the only issue for me. I've learned all my lessons. I don't have any more lessons to learn. I'm done. I just want to be with my family. I don't want to talk to I don't want to deal with people hardly at all. I'm very clear about that. So I don't need to hear about nobody talking about me being tested or that. I don't want to hear that. To be honest, I don't want to hear that shit, y'all. Yeah, you should be tested your whole life. You're tested. Okay, well, I don't, yeah, you know what I'm saying? If it takes me just being to my family and not speaking to anybody and just having my income, so be it. I'm cool with that. Or even if I don't have a family, I'm by myself, I'm cool with that also. Because every time you deal with another motherfucker, it seems like you learning some kind of lesson. Like it's obvious you cannot even fucking have friends down this motherfucker. And if your family is willing to do to you what mine was willing to do to me, man, man, oh man, oh man. It's hard. Some days, guys, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's hard to stay positive, man. It's hard. It's hard. Especially like with me, I'm not this spring chicken in my 20s anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's time for me to uh, gain my reward, and I did my job. Now give me my fucking paycheck. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at right now. I'm like, dude, it's Friday. Uh, Supervisor say that the paycheck coming in a little late. It's like I'm an employee. I worked all these hours. I don't want to hear that shit. That's where it's at. And nobody can tell me different. That it should be any different. Because they not me and they haven't walked in my shoes. I don't know, like I tell you, I don't know anybody that could have survived this. What I went through. I don't know nobody could have survived this, man. But anyway, just I know I keep going back to that lady, but it made me so mad too, because it's like you can't even have a fucking friend. You can't even have a friend. I made a joke. I was talking about maybe if they just clone another you, maybe you can be friends with your clone. Somebody commented, nah, even your clone would be jealous of you. I was like, man, come on. You know what I mean? But it was just the fact this lady, hooked up with this girl she met on YouTube, and the girl actually told her she was jealous of her because she gets all the attention I mean, man, when you get past a certain age, man, you don't even, you forget that there's people out here who are grown up adults, grown up children. You just forget, you just forget. I felt bad for her when I heard her say that too, because it's like, you'd be thinking things going good, and this person is eyeing you and envying you and jealous of you. I mean, it's just like you always got to live life just being on the fucking defense. For all intents and purposes, the way things be going, it's like it's good that the lifespan is only 78 years. Why the fuck would you want to stay around any longer? Unless you just like being delusional. Being to all that cliche bullshit, if there's a will, there's a way, and all that bullshit, it's nothing but a bunch of cliche bullshit, man, down this motherfucker. I've been pushed to the limit. And I hear some of y'all talking about y'all stories that y'all went through with your mother and stuff. Look, that's fine and dandy, but guess what? I don't think nobody's been pushed to the limit as far as I have. I don't think I'll ever meet anybody either that's been pushed to the limit like I have. Just pushed to the limit, man. How much more you guys think I can take? I mean, honestly. I told you guys it's been so much BS in my life, I don't even know what's important anymore. I don't. I'll be honest with y'all. I don't even know what's important anymore, man. And I'm not even speaking negative. That's just the fucking truth. I'm telling you. I don't even know what's important in this motherfucker. I don't know what's important. Somebody need to tell me what's important. I don't know what's important. But just to close it out, yeah, my life has been like a movie the whole time, even before this situation. And it's like every situation I've ran into, it seems like a setup, by the universe, by God, using me as bait, using his chosen ones as bait. It's not fun being a chosen one, man. Yeah, you got some little powers here and there, and you have some abilities, and you can see farther and think farther than everybody walking around you. But it's not fun being no fucking chosen one, man. It's not fun. Some days it is. Most of the time it's not. Most of the time it's not. So I just wanted to come over here and tell y'all that, man. This thing has been like a movie, and yeah, yeah. Hopefully one day I can be involved in making a movie, not being a movie.